Hey, what's up, guys and girls? It's Jesse Daly here in the Caribbean. My friends, we have a new global tropics hazards outlook that has been released by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Let's take a look at what we could potentially expect across the Atlantic Basin and the Eastern Pacific Basin. All right, everybody, let's jump right into what's going on. Before we get over to the new Global Tropics Hazards Outlook, I do want to show you what's happening in the Atlantic Basin because there's a lot actually going on. We have a newly formed Tropical Storm Gabrielle, along with two additional waves that the National Hurricane Center is currently monitoring. So where are these waves going to go? What's going to happen? Well, let's start by taking a look a tropical storm Gabrielle. Now, the good news about Gabrielle, at least for the Caribbean and the mainland of the USA, is that the system likely will stay northeast of the Caribbean and away from the US mainland. But Bermuda, you all need to definitely watch this one closely because, as we can see, the system is expected to intensify into a hurricane in the next few days and potentially come really close to Bermuda by early next week. So definitely something to keep an eye on. As of 11 a.m. on Wednesday, September 17th, Gabrielle is moving to the north-northwest about 22 miles per hour really quickly and packing winds of 45 miles per hour. So that is where Gabrielle is expected to travel. Of course, things can change, but it's certainly nice to see that at least for the Caribbean, it'll stay away. But Bermuda, watch this closely, my friends. Fortunately for Bermuda, the island is really, built like a fortress to withstand cyclones. So that's really good news for our friends up there. Now, I do want to take you back over to the additional waves the National Hurricane Center is monitoring. Now, we have disturbance number 1 here, which with a low chance of development, and this is moving to the west. If it develops, it could come closer to the Caribbean. That's again something that we have to wait and see on. Now, disturbance number 2 up here. This was just actually flagged. This afternoon. This is actually a tropical wave that is forecast to move off the west coast of Africa by Friday. So it's a wave that isn't actually out in the Atlantic yet, but something we have to watch. Although it does kind of show that it may make this kind of turn up to the northwest area. But again, lots of time to watch it. We are still within the peak of hurricane season, my friend, so it's important to watch everything. Now, let's quickly look at what's going on with the Global Tropics Hazards Outlook. We can see here these shaded areas across the Atlantic Basin are indicative of a 20 to 40% chance of cyclonic development through the rest of September and into early October, and also over in the Western Caribbean and the Gulf, same thing. We also have the Eastern Pacific that is busy, and we have a slightly higher risk of development in the Eastern Pacific during the week valid September 24th to September 30th. Speaking of the the Eastern Pacific Basin, we can see that over in the basin, we do have another area right now that is being monitored for potential development. In the next few days, we could see a tropical depression form off the coast of southwestern Mexico. It's been a busy season out there, so we'll watch that one closely as well. Finally, my friends, this is infrared satellite imagery courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com. I am circling with my cursor the general area of Tropical Storm Gabrielle. It's still not really well defined at all, but what we're looking at is Gabrielle, and as you can see to the east, near the west coast of Africa, we do have the tropical wave that has moved off the west coast of Africa that is being monitored. That is just disturbance number 1. So we're going to watch all of this. I'm going to keep an eye on all of it for you, my friends. I think it's really important to remember that we are still in, again, the height of hurricane season. It's been, a relative lull, but it doesn't mean it's going to last. So it's important that we watch everything closely and stay prepared. We still have a while to go. November 30th is the official end of hurricane season, but the waters are so warm, my friends, especially by the Gulf. if something can get into the Gulf, we could see some serious problems in terms of potential rapid intensification of storms. So I'll watch everything for you. Stay safe. Hit subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I am here in the Caribbean and will be throughout hurricane season. I appreciate you watching, and as always, I will keep an eye on the tropical skies come rain or shine.